Good morning, YouTube. Old Guy 379 coming at you this morning with a requested video requested by my wife, Brandy. Hi, honey. I love you. I thank you so much for being my wife. I just want you to know how much I appreciate you and I care about you and I love you. I'm just going to start this video off right there with that. This was her idea to talk about a little bit, what the wives have going on at home and what this whole business is like for them. I can't speak for everybody's wife. My wife has some health issues, and so it precludes her from actually working and being able to be out here with me on the road right now. It just, with what she has going on, it would not be a good situation for her. She's getting better. We're looking forward to a time when she can just get in the truck with me and ride and enjoy, and we can spend time together. And I miss that, because when we first met 25 years ago, that was the first thing I did, was I had her get in the truck and ride with me. And within 6 months or so of that, we had her through CDL school, and I trained her how to drive, and we ran team for a little over a year together. And man, I'm not gonna lie to you, dude, those were some of the best years of our lives. In our whole marriage was getting to spend that time together in the truck and learning to be close and deal with each other. Super fun, and I miss that. But obviously, here we are 25 years later, we're still married. Things have been good. They've been rocky at times, I'm not gonna lie. Everybody has ups and downs in their relationships, but marriage is a commitment that we make. And I'm gonna preach a little bit here. Love is not just a word, it's not a noun, it's not a descriptive, it is an action word. It is something you have to do. You have to show that you love the person that you're married to. Just telling them is good. Don't get me wrong. You need to tell them that you love them, but you need to show them. And I do things like this. I find dumb little trinkets out here, like these dumb key rings. I saw one of these the other day, and I have yet to. This is the first one I found with my wife's name spelled correctly, and it's not much, but you know what? It means a lot to her, because it shows her that I'm thinking about her when I'm out here on the road. And I think that's a huge problem, guys. We have a tendency to get out here and we do our own thing, and we start leaving our wives at home thinking we just don't care about them. We get so wrapped up in everything that's going on out here and in us, because we're alone. Me is all we focus on. And that's not good for them. They've got a hard job. They have a really, really hard job. We're out here doing what we do. And again, like I've said, driving a truck is not an easy job per se. It's not physically demanding, like, you're beating yourself up, swinging a hammer every day, or, climbing scaffolding and slinging bricks and everything else. But it is a physically demanding job. It's a mentally demanding job, and it is hard. There's a lot going on. The hard part of it is being away from your family. But remember, you're away from them, which means they're away from you. And that's super important. You can't forget that. They take care of everything at home. They're making sure that the house is taken care of, that it's clean, the dishes are done, the yard's mowed, the kids are fed and clothed and cleaned and at school on time. And they're the ones going to the parent-teacher conferences when we can't make it. They're the ones dealing with the kids when, they're having relationship issues with either their friends or their boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever. While we're out here on the road, we hear about it secondhand, and we have a tendency as men, I think, especially, and I'm speaking to men in general on this, as men, we have a tendency to just kind of bottle all those feelings up inside. And we also get to a point where we're like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear all that. But we need to, and we need to listen. And I'm as guilty of it as anybody else is. There's times I don't listen, and that's horrible. And, you know, for those times, I apologize. You know, this is kind of a public apology thing from me to my wife, but she knows how much I love her. She really does. And, you know, we need to listen. We need to be receptive. We need to be understanding. We need to let them know that we actually do care about what's going on at home. I get it. It's hard, man, especially if they call and you're in heavy traffic and you're trying to maneuver your way around and she's just having a complete meltdown. It's really difficult. But at that point is when you need to be gentle and let her know, hey, honey, you know, we need to talk about this, but we need to talk about it later. And just let them know, you know, you're not just dismissing them. Because like I said, guys, they have a rough job. I think they have a harder job than we do, really. You know, I've been married once before. My wife and I got together, and I focused everything 100% all the time on trucks and trucking, and it was not a good thing. There were some other things going on too, but that doesn't matter. But the fact is, you know, when Brandy and I got together, I had to learn to put my focus on her. And it was hard because I am all about this. You know, if you watch my videos, you know, man, I am passionate about trucks and trucking. It consumes my life. It really does. And when I got off the road in 2015, man, that was the hardest. I worked a couple local jobs for a little over a year when back in like 2009 and 10, and I hated every second of it, man. I liked the job. It wasn't me. And the guys that I worked with, they didn't have a clue, man. I only worked with one other guy that ever ran over the road. The rest of them had all just worked local, and they didn't understand. You know, when I would start talking about things and going here and going there, they just didn't get it. And I have a real hard time when I'm at home. When I was even when I was working at home every day, focusing on home and what it means to be home and be a part of the family. And so this is a little confession on my part, I guess. You know, it's not that I don't want to be there. I don't know how to do that. And I think a lot of us drivers out here really struggle with that. You know, I've known a lot of guys over the years who were married for 30, 40 years, quit driving a truck, go home, get divorced not long after that because they just cannot handle it. They don't know what to do. And it's sad, you know, somebody spends that much time committed to you and you can't figure out how to enjoy that person when you finally get to be with them. And that was kind of the problem with when I was working in the office, especially my last job. I just, man, everything went into that job and it just ate me up. And, you know, it didn't just consume me, it engulfed me and ate me up. I hated every second of it at the last year. I really did. I was looking for all kinds of ways to get out, and I just couldn't find it. And then finally, you know, this opportunity came up, and here I am. I'm back out here again, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying life, and I cannot wait to get home. Every time I leave, I can't wait to get back, man. You know, I love my wife and my kids so much, and when I'm home, I just want to be there. I just want to be there with them. And we need to do that as men drivers, because I think a lot of wives feel like we've just abandoned them, you know, that they're abandoned. Like you just left because you don't want to be here. And that's not the case. I think 95% of us, I mean, most, and I'm throwing numbers out, man. I don't know. It could be 70%. I don't know. But I think the biggest majority of us really want to be home. We've done this for so long, though, that we don't know how. And it's hard. It's really hard. And it's hard on our wives and our kids, because let's face it, they get into a routine while we're gone, and then we show up. And they have their thing that they do all the time, but we have our expectations of how things should go, and we completely screw that up. And that's not fair to them, but it is how it is. I understand it. I get it. My wife gets it. And if anybody, you know, if you guys have been out there long enough doing this, your wives get it too, I'm sure. They may not like it, but there's a way that they do things when you're not there, and then when you're there, there's a way they do things. And it's tough, especially if you have kids, man, because the kids don't understand, why do we got to change when dad's here? What's the deal? Why? Why is he so special? He's never here anyway. I mean, and it's fair. It's a fair assumption that on their part, why do we have to do things differently just because dad's home? And I'm talking more, I guess, from my own experiences. You guys leave your comments down below. Be respectful, though, and thank God, man, most everybody that's commented on my videos so far, you guys have all been great. You've been very respectful towards each other. And, there's only been a couple there that I've had to go, no, stop. But, yeah, think about your wives, guys. Think about what they have going on at home. And show them how much you appreciate them. Send them a text several times a day. One of the dumb little things I do, and I know it is kind of dumb, but it makes my wife smile. Sometimes I'll find pictures on the internet of flowers, and I'll just save that picture and I'll send it to her in a text and tell her I love her, just to show her that I'm thinking about her. I don't ever want her to think that, I'm out here and she's just gone the second I'm off out on the road, because that's not the case. Not for me, and I don't think it is for any of us, really. We think about our wives all the time, and our kids, and what we have going on at home, and what we're going to do when we get home. And we always make plans. That's the other thing in this industry, man. Plans are hard to make. Because it seems like inevitably you make a plan and all of a sudden everything changes. They're calling you, man, we really need you to take this load. We got to do this. We got to do that. Or, you're trying your damnedest to get home and you're busting your butt and the weather changes and screws everything up, or somebody has a wreck. And, with the e-logs now, it's a little harder, trying to stay in within the boundaries of the law. You get shut down, you run out of hours, that dumb clock's telling you can't go any farther. What do? You've got a tough choice to make. Do you just go and say the heck with it and deal with the repercussions? Or do you sit and wait? That's the thing. These are the issues I have with e-logs. It's a whole nother story. This is about our wives, but our wives need to understand too. We have our own things going on out here that get in the way sometimes of us doing and fulfilling the promises that we make. I don't think any of us out here ever make a promise that we intend to break. I really don't. I think all of us, most of the drivers I've met, man, just good down to earth people. The biggest majority of them, they're really good people. I wish, guys would sit down and communicate and converse back and forth a little more. And I think overall our industry would be so much better all the way around with that. And our wives would have a little more understanding. And, if you ever get the chance, drivers, man, take your wife with you. Even if it's just for a couple days, if you can get a load out of your home where you run out and come back just a couple days later, take her with you so she can see what goes on. I think a lot of wives really, my first wife had no clue what I did out here on the road, and she really didn't want to know. We've had this discussion a few times, and she says she did, but, I tried to take her with me. She just didn't care. It wasn't her thing. Brandy and I, like I said, we met. I was driving. I put her in the truck. She absolutely loved it. She misses this like you wouldn't believe. And I'm sure that, once my son is out of high school and gone and in the military or whatever he decides he's going to do, it'll free up some time for us to do that. I can't wait for her to come out in the truck with me. I can't wait to take my son with me either. Man, I love taking him with me because I make him work. It won't be so bad now pulling a reefer, but when I was pulling RGN and step deck, I made that kid work, man. He learned how to tie down combines and tractors and how to sling chains properly and how to use binders and straps and roll them up. I mean, so, all this stuff. I guess what I'm saying is, drivers, don't forget the people you have at home. always keep them in your mind and in your heart and in your prayers, and show them that you're thinking about them. You can't just say it, you have to actually show them, because like I said, they have it rough. Your kids are basically a one parent family. When you're out here and you're gone, you may be talking to them on the phone and laying down the law and doing whatever else, but let's face it, you're not there. You are an absentee parent while you're out here, and it takes a special wife and a special understanding from your family to really deal with all that. And my point is, if I even have a point to this, they're important to you and you are important to them. And I know this is kind of a somber video, and I apologize a little bit for that, but man, I'm as guilty as anybody else for just being self-absorbed when I'm out here. You can't help but be that way. You're by yourself all the time. You just can't help it. But you got into a relationship with somebody and you married that person and you have kids and everything else, and there is nothing better. The Bible says it's a blessing to be married. It says it's a blessing to have kids. Describes your kids as a quiver full of arrows, that you're going to send out into the world. It's a blessing. It really is. And we need to treat it as such, drivers. We really do. And tell your wives you love them. Show them you love them. Show them how much you appreciate them. Take them out to dinner when you get home. Love on them. Wine them. Dine them. Don't just treat them like they're just some object when you get home. And I don't know how many guys do that. I really don't. I'm not saying that anybody does. I'm sure there are some, but man, wrap them up in your arms, hug them, kiss them, love on your kids, take them all out, go do something fun. My last job, management job, I was so consumed by that stupid job that it took all my time. This last year, year before, my son and I went fishing like every weekend. My wife went camping with us. We did a lot of things. This last year, 2023, just sucked the life right out of me and out of our family, and I hated every second of it. And this year, even though I'm out here on the road, 2024, I know is going to be a better year, because I'm going to be able to take that time when I'm home and just walk away from everything and go do what we want to do. If I want, we want to go fishing, we want to go camping, we want to take a trip back, to the other side of the state, maybe go see my grandkids in Spokane. I've got daughters and grandkids over there. I can finally do that. I have more freedom now, funny enough, driving a truck than I ever did being in an office. And I did not, you would think it would be the other way around, being home every day, but when you have something that just consumes you like that, it's no fun. So anyway, I've went on long enough, man. I'm getting off track here. Wives, you are amazing. Truck driver wives, you are amazing. God bless you for what you do, for keeping the home front the way it is. For taking care of everything. I say how much I appreciate all the drivers, but I'm going to tell you right now, behind every driver out there, there's a wife at home, or, a woman at home, significant other, taking care of everything while you're out here making a living. And that is amazing. You guys rock. You are, the fuel that keeps us going, really. I wouldn't do it. I mean, I would still be a truck driver probably and still doing what I'm doing, but I'd be a lot lazier. I can tell you that right now. I wouldn't work as hard as I do if it wasn't for having somebody at home to take care of. So anyway, everybody, take care. Drivers, keep the shiny side up and the greasy side down. Wives, keep everything going like you are. Like I said, you are amazing, and we appreciate you. Take care, everybody. Be safe. See ya.